Time for our daily, hilltop check-in. How are we doing? Oh, when we left off, we were about to, deal with this fella. Case file. Let's review here. This fella, Lowell Ledger, administrative assistant for Eubank Investments. He's a bit of a pompous jerk. Now, yes, we just figured out. It feels like this wouldn't have significant branch entries here. But yeah, so they fundraised 380 grand for the Klaus charity. Based on the chunk that Chandra and her friend stole, that would have left 355,000. Now, $380,017 alms. So we pierce this together. The financial ledger. Okay, yes, this is the key here. 25,000 are unaccounted for. Right, okay. That was fundraised. 25,000 was unaccounted for. They stole from the fundraised money so that when the police inventoried it, they would find that it didn't add up to the amount that was fundraised, and then they could say, hey, what's the deal? Like, yeah, they weren't expecting to get away with it. They were not expecting to get away with it. They came back, so turned over all of the money, so that in the end, the police would have it on the record that they inventoried the safe and the amount came out to 355 grand. That amount was confirmed. The fundraised amount was also confirmed, so what could go wrong? Mr. Ledger, is it true that Owen Eubank stored all the fundraised money himself? He did, yes. We counted that amount of money that was stored in the safe. There's about 25,000 alms missing for the total amount. Missing, you say? Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. Like the story. Thank you for your help, Mr. Ledger. So, now what? I think it's time to go have a chat with Mr. Eubank about this. The proof we have, it's sure to be a contentious confrontation. We'll head out when you're ready. Do you mind if we linger here for a second, Mr. Ledger? If you must. Oh, we can talk to you. This must be the reception desk. There's a place here for someone to sit, but the receptionist must be gone. Hey, look! There's a bowl of candy back here! I'm sure they won't mind if we swipe a couple pieces. Hey, you can't just run around taking things without asking first. You're a detective. You've just set a good example for everyone. What if this candy's an important clue? You never know. It probably doesn't even taste good. Free candy never does. You're no fun, Justy. It's a vase of pretty yellow flowers here. I think it's fair to say Mrs. Eubank put these here. She really seems to like yellow flowers. I remember seeing similar ones at their estate. You said they represented optimism. How do flowers represent such abstract things like that? Like, who looks at a flower and decides what they represent? I think it's a bit more complicated than that. Hold on. wonder if there's any cheesy lines attached to this. May our profits bloom as beautifully as these. What kind of saying is that? Capitalism. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Yeah. It must be the company's logo. Looks like a giant E in the shape of a skyrise. It's a smart logo. That's kind of clever. God, I hate corporate logos like these. They're always so plain and uninspired. Just meant to be inoffensive and easily remembered. I don't think a corporate logo needs to be much more than that. Yeah, you're not wrong. We're in the heart of Azure City now. I don't think I've ever been around here before. This whole area is the primary financial district. There's not much here except offices and corporate headquarters. You can't see much from down here, but the higher floors have great views of the city. Hey, Lowell, you think you'd give us a tour of the upper offices? No. Well, it's worth a shot. Very blunt. There's a lot of comfy-looking furniture in here. Well, they aren't as comfy as they look. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we check the cushions? You never know what sort of clues we might find. We're checking the cushions. We checked the cushions. All I found are some coins and a faded receipt. Oh, score! I got an unopened piece of gum. I'll trade you for the coins. Deal. It's a vending machine near the room. There's enough there for a snack. Score! Sucker! I'm laughing only because we've all been in it that bad once upon a time. Alright. So, Mr. Ledger, what exactly do you do around here? As I said before, I am the assistant to the president. I assist him in all of his roles. If there's something he doesn't want to do, he delegates it to me. Admittedly, he often does small administrative tasks. Sounds like you'd rather be doing more. Of course I would. My position wasn't easy to land, and I have no intention of stopping here. I'll continue climbing the ladder as far as I can go. Perhaps one day I'll be the one running the show. You seem pretty ambitious. Ambition is the driving force of progress. If we just accept where we are in life, we'd never go further. I know that firsthand. My family was like that, always saddled in debt, never striving to get better. So I did something about it. Got my degree in business and I did everything I could to get to where I am now. I don't think it's a fair assessment. A lot of people don't have access to the same opportunities. Nobody chooses to end up that way. It can be a very difficult thing to get out of, ambition or not. And plus, like, the sort of doing something about it that you might be thinking of is the sort of thing that, like, you either live comfortably, in whatever comfort you can get living paycheck to paycheck, because it's a steady income and a passable enough life, and moving and taking a step up, getting a job with a better salary, or getting that educational leap that would advance you up the pay grades is too much of an investment that you can realistically stomach right now. That feels like a very real phenomenon that gatekeeps people from doing the sort of thing that Lowell is very much chiding his parents for. There is always a means to an end, if only you are brave enough to pursue it. Good things come to those who deserve it. That's also a bold thing to say when you have made it. And when you have made it, rather than not making that leap. Or making that leap and not getting a job that's worth a damn. Also a very real thing. Go to college and can't land a fucking job to save your life, or you have to go into tremendous amounts of debt to get that degree that would help you, or you have to you are forced to relocate and uproot your life for a job that might pan out and might burn out in a year or so. You don't know. Life is fucking scary sometimes. You said something earlier about a president? That'd be Anton Chambers, my boss. He's quite the ruthless businessman. It's easy to tell how he got his position. Ooh, okay. He's never afraid of risks and never shies away from seizing opportunities when he sees them. And that's why I strive to do the same. It is sink or swim. You either make it or you don't. Eventually you have to realize that sometimes your success has to come at the cost of another's. But in capitalism, you might think it cruel, but that's just how the world is. Those who deserve success are those who don't shy away from reaching it. What an awful way to look at things. I think you can be successful without undermining others in the process. I think Lowell would invest in crypto pump and dump schemes. And then try and run his own. That sort of naivety won't cut it here. Eubank Investments only hires those who are willing to do whatever it takes. These are the sort of people who build a business world and thank the gods I didn't stay in management. Real. That is deep and true. What can you tell me about Eubank Investments? We're one of the most successful real estate and investment firms at this side of Azure Bay. Our company is behind a lot of the city's recent major developments, including the transformation of the Sunrise District. Recently, we've begun expanding our plans eastward, past the Junao Mountains. Seems like the company's doing very well then. We've routinely broken our projected revenue, and that shows no signs of stopping. Business is good. Of course, it's dependent on the continued success of our developments. There's been some recent trouble, but it's nothing we can't turn around. Recent trouble, huh? I'm sure it's nothing, but I'll try to remember that for later. Recent trouble, huh? Alright, to the Eubanks we go. I think I'd be back here again. So quick, too. Almost feels like yesterday. It was yesterday. Toasty! Toasty, no! Ah! He's barreling toward us. Aha! Gotcha. Yes! Hello! Oh, hi there, Fee! Long time no see! Yeah! Miss Justina! Miss Sophie! You're back! It's nice to see you again, Fee. How have you been? Well, Toasty and I really miss Oliver and Chandra. Father's making me clean my own room now. It's not fair. No. Toasty's so sad. Talk about spoiled. And we don't get any more of Oliver's extra special curry. Don't worry, Fee. There's plenty of curries in the world for you to enjoy still. So, are you guys here for more hide and seek? Not this time. We're going to speak with your father. Is he around? Oh, he's in his office. I'll take you there. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let's race. Wait. Now she's making a game of it? I better hurry there. Uh-oh. Back in the lion's den once more. Father! The nice police officers want to talk to you again. Thank you, Fee. Why don't you run off and play now? Okay. So, it's you again. Just how many times exactly are you going to invade my home before you're content? Hopefully this is the last time. I need to talk to you about the Klaus charity. This nonsense again. What is it now? I thought you should know. Chandra recovered from her injuries today. I'm quite aware. We just had her dismissed from our employment. She claims you've been embezzling money from the charity. You. Hey, don't get mad at us. Those were her words. Regardless, we wanted to ask you what you know about BG Turtles, LLC. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard about that in my life. As if. We know you stole Chandra's documents on it. Why don't you just come clean already? We already caught you. If you caught me, you'd be putting me in handcuffs. I want you to consider your words very, very carefully. Clerk. What was that voice? Clerk. Can have you blacklisted from every job in Azure City and beyond. How he thinks he can threaten me? Whoa, no need for that. Let's all just calm down. I'm not accusing you of anything at this time, Mr. Eubank. I just want to hear your side of things. Are you really going to entertain the baseless words of that snake? It would be irresponsible of us to not look into it. Besides, there's nothing wrong with your statement. We won't bother you again. Fine. This is the last statement I'll give to you. Alrighty. Every year our company fundraises money for the Klaus charity. After the money is collected and counted, it is stored here for safekeeping. Making arrangements to transfer the money to the Klaus orphanage when our little incident happened. Is it that all the money we collected is either still there or in your possession? Well, that tracks. That's what he wants to claim, huh? Start with you. I'd like to go over this with you in more detail. Meantime, what if we poke around a bit? Don't overstay your welcome. Well, let's poke around a little bit. Lamp. What if I turn on this lamp? The room has sufficient light. It would be a waste of electricity. At least open these curtains a bit more. The light in this room is perfect for my taste. Equal parts moody and hopeful. Is he a vampire? By the way, why is your office here and not at Eubank Investments? I have an office there, but I prefer this one for more private matters. Walls have ears. You can never trust them. That's why the most important matters are discussed here. Sounds like paranoia to me. What's on here? Fiesta Fantasy 6 soundtrack. Stop snooping around. Sorry. Though, was that video game music? What of it? Fiesta Fantasy is some of the most beautiful music I ever listened to. This again is where the composer truly shined. I didn't mean to offend. It's just surprising, is all. I always figured you were the type to listen to classical music all day. I can't stand classical music. Guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. What about you, Sophie? What kind of music do you like? I've been listening to some of the classics lately, like the band White Keys and Black Stripes. Have you heard that their one-hit wonder, Take You Out? By Gavrilo and the Black Hand? That sounds like a wizard band. That sounds like a druid black metal. Gavrilo and the Black Hand, take you out. To the ball game, take you out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. No, I haven't. Give it a listen. His other work is great. Should have taken off beyond one song. Everyone seems to have their own musical tastes. I should expand my own beyond indie rock and coffee house jazz. Lo-fi music to do paperwork to. What's down here? Where in the world is carbon dioxide? A global warming report. Is this a children's book? It was Fee's favorite when she was younger. I used to read it to her every night. She's going to be a wonderful scientist someday. Marvelous. Scientist? What about the family business? I prefer that she follows her own path, rather than my footsteps. Respect! As the guy who wants to be a scientist. Hey, if she's got an interest in it, then good on you for trying to cultivate that. That's good dad shit. What's up here? The History of the World, Part 0. Should it be Part 1? That book covers history before humans. We're only around for less than a fraction of this planet's life. This thing's huge! Have you read this whole book? Cover to cover, though now I only go back to specific portions of it. Ah, so that's a bloody Bill Word, sir. After all, how could we inhabit a world that we don't truly understand? If you read it, you might learn a thing or two. Never bad... Sorry. Never a bad thing to broaden one's horizons. Right. Maybe I'll check it out another time. Alright. I heard Eubank Investments has a president. Could you tell me about them? That'd be my compatriot, Anton Chambers. What does he do exactly? He presides. President Anton handles all the day-to-day management of the company and our business ventures. Usually he secured us numerous new property developments. In essence, he is the beating heart of the company. Huh. So I guess you just sit around all day and collect a paycheck. Yeah. I assure you my role involves a lot of work. As CEO, my responsibilities revolve around our company's future. With it, I carry the very soul of Eubank Investments. Sounds to me like you're just the ideas guy. Wow, Justina's really in here saying CEOs are irrelevant. Based. I'm done with this discussion. Drop it. I think I poked a nerve there. You know anything about the car accident that happened at the Klaus orphanage last month? I heard about it, yes. Thank the gods that nobody was harmed. I feel ashamed about that car, though. A classic like that deserved a better death. Not quite dead yet. Bill's having it repaired. Is he now? It would cost him quite the penny. I can hardly imagine how he could afford such a thing. Now that I think about it, how did Bill wind up with the money? I should ask him about it later. Well, that's an interesting turn of... 15 grand. Bill paid 15 grand. So we did solve the actual car accident stuff. Megan and Fry were involved here. Megan tried to patch up Bill's car. Fortunately, due to her, what we had here was a failure to communicate. Megan didn't tell Bill that she fucked up. Bill and Megan missed crossing paths, so Megan couldn't tell him directly. Bill took his car. The shoddy fix went and Bill bumped a tree and his car exploded. GTA style. We've met before. Sounds like you and Bill are acquaintances. We've met before, obviously. After all, my company has a lot of ties to the orphanage. Our relationship is strictly a professional one. I don't have any connections with him otherwise. On one of my trips to the orphanage, he happened to show me his car. Real beauty that one was. So you don't know anything that goes on at the orphanage? I'm afraid not. Only dealings at this stage involve the charity. Doesn't sound like I can get anything useful out of him on this topic, then. Alright. Objection. Mr. Eubank. Sorry to say, but that's a lie. What are you talking about? But he checked the numbers. There's around 25,000 alms missing for the charity money. Of course, you already knew that, didn't you? I don't know anything about that. Tell us what you did with the money. That money was accounted for perfectly. Your clumsy officers must have miscounted it. A likely story. Unfortunately, for him, I would have a good idea as to where the money went. I'd have to show it to him. Actually, Mr. Eubank, I have a better explanation. Take a look at this. Oh, that's gonna be cruel. That's gonna be cruel. Oh, that's gonna be real cruel. Isn't this? No, that's not it. I know I've got something on me. Something that explains where the stolen money went. Her new car. In the cabinet. Out the window. Oh, I can't say that. Where the money went. Any money raised can only be used to pay for orphanage expenses? So where are we going here? Oh, BG Turtles. Take that. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Going to your former maid, Chandra, I've got wrapped up in the whole, where did Bill get the money thing. Chandra, those 25,000 alms were transferred not to the orphanage, but to somewhere else entirely. A shell company, BG Turtles, LLC. Pop. Got it. And would you look at that? The amounts matched perfectly. You stole the money, didn't you? BG Turtles is your company. You tried to hide the proof. All the places to steal from, your own charity? You're stealing money from an orphanage. Enough of this. I will not stand here while you make up slanderous lies about me. You know the truth? I'll tell you the truth. Your sloppy investigation, you overlooked several things. First of all, I already stepped down from my position at the charity. All I do is store the money. All its decisions are made by my associate, Anton Chambers. When it was transferred before it even reached me, I confirmed that with Anton. What? So someone's embezzling from underneath you. Voted to have Owen step down as director, and Anton took over, and now money went missing. Suspicious. I thought for sure he was the culprit. So you claim. Alright then, Mr. Eubank. We'll go confirm this with Mr. Chambers. But if his story doesn't match what you told us, we'll be back. And do what you must. I have nothing to hide. Where can we find Mr. Chambers? You should be in his office right now at our headquarters. Here. Show this note to his assistant, Lowell. He'll take you to him. Thanks. Alright, when you're ready, we'll head there, Justy. Let's go. Ah, you two are back again. What do you want now? Hello. Thanks again for that information you gave us earlier. Is that all? Actually, we're here for something else now. We need to talk to Anton Chambers. Really now. And what business do you have with him? Does it matter? We just need to talk to him. Well, as I told you before, he's busy. Still, this is important. Yes, I'm sure it is. Unfortunately, his business is more important. So why don't you just sit tight till he's done? Don't like that, then I'd be happy to book an appointment. Nerve this guy. Hey, Sophie, can't we just force him to let us talk with Anton? Unfortunately not. Better that we just wait here a bit. There's gotta be a way to get to him quicker. I can show him what Owen gave us. Can't leave yet. Nothing new to see. We gotta talk with Mr. Eubank. And I think you should take a look at this card. Mr. Chambers' office is on the 6th floor, if you'll follow me. But you said he was too busy. No, let's just go along with it, Justy. This is our chance. Right. I still can't shake that feeling. Is Anton our culprit? Does this conspiracy run deeper? It's the only way to find out, and it lies beyond the office door. Deep breath, Justina. All right. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Mr. Chambers, 2 detectives are here to speak with you. Now I've been upgraded to detective? I'm busy right now, Lowell. They can wait. Fortunately, sir, it's rather urgent. Take a look at this. Thank you, Lowell. You may go. Yes, sir. So, you're the officers who have been causing us so much trouble recently. Nah, that's Detective Hunt. He can't keep his head out of anything. We just want to help an orphanage. Why are you here to bother me exactly? We're investigating the Klaus charity. Investigating? What possible reason could you have to investigate us? We're but a humble charity. One of Mr. Eubank's former staff claims that some of the charity money is being embezzled. And you have some proof of this, I presume. We have enough to suspect you of some foul play. Mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Chambers? If you must. Alright, Anton. These are some imposing bookshelves. Let's see, there's a bunch of boring business books and Solar Wars, Rise of the Space Bears. That's a sci-fi classic right here. It's a thrilling tale about a small farm boy who goes on an epic galactic quest and finds the unlikeliest of allies. I think I've heard this before. I thought it was a movie. Indeed, this is the novelization of it. I'm a huge fan of the entire Solar Wars franchise. Well, more movies and books and all. I raged online on my burner account on fanfiction.net when they completely decanonized the extended Solar Wars literary universe in favor of some cheap cash-ins made by the Disney company. Some people think that they're a bit cheesy, but the world itself is very exciting and nuanced. I see. This is a very fancy-looking chair. Is this real leather? This thing must have cost a fortune. I spend a lot of time in this office. It's only right that I have the best chair that money could buy. A chair is only as strong as its weakest link. However, a subpar chair would be uncomfortable to sit there. That inevitably leads to subpar work. I don't tolerate subpar work. I think you get a decent chair for a lot less. You can't put a price on quality. This chair will last a generation. My successor will be able to sit in this very same chair. I guess I didn't think of it that way. Hey, look, a chalkboard. I don't like this chalkboard. It has math on it. Why not? It's covered with numbers. It makes me feel like I'm in math class again. Oh, come on. Math class wasn't that bad. I think it's overheated. Don't get me wrong. I like the logic problems we'd sometimes get. But staring at a bunch of numbers just makes my head hurt. I always preferred art class. You think visually, not numerically. Is something wrong? Art class and I never got along. I always wanted to get done quickly, so I botched just about every project I did. One time I thought I made the cutest little clay pot. When it was fired, it completely fell apart. I think your approach might have been a bit flawed. Oh. Hey, they're made for each other. Left brain, right brain. Coming together to investigate crimes. To form crime brain. Wow, you got quite a view of the city from up there. It's the best view of the financial district we can get here. Nothing brings me joy like the powerful imagery of skyscrapers dotting the horizon. Nothing brings me more joy than looking down on little maggots underneath. Testament to humanity's power and determination. Walking on the street, I always saw these buildings just imposing over me. And up here, it feels like I'm on top of the world. If you'd like to use the city, I have a secret spot I'd like to go to, but I need to clear my head. Maybe I can take you there sometime. Sophie just desperately wants to go on a date. And I'm all here for that. You go. I would love that. Hell yeah. So you're the president of Eubank Investments? That I am. This company would be nothing without me. Nothing, damn it. I can discount Owen's work, of course. If that man got his way, this company wouldn't be half the size it is now. Interesting. Professional disagreements. Sounds like you two have had some disagreements. Business is cutthroat. You either sink or you swim. Without direct aggressive action, you'll fall short of the competition. Owen doesn't understand that. How much of a skilled negotiator he may be, not every problem is solved at the bargaining table. Maybe it's just me, but everything this guy says feels a bit more ominous. Yeah. So, you're the head of Klaus Charity. Why do you run it and not Owen? Owen found himself with too much on his plate. I, however, don't mind the extra workload. I took control of the charity several months ago. Owen, of course, retains a ceremonial role in the organization, and he stores the fundraised money himself. Anything that happens to the funds themselves falls under my purview. So what Owen told us is true. However, that just means Anton here is the one truly responsible. Maybe we should have a chat with him about the missing money. What can you tell me about the Klaus orphanage? We helped set it up, and the charity benefits it. While I think the cause is noble enough, I think Bill's a bit misguided. Misguided? A cheap motel like that is no place for children. I think it's about time Bill looked for a more suitable location. But of all the property in this city he could choose, he stubbornly sticks to this one. Hey, it's not that bad. Plus, Bill's got his reasons for it. Besides, what else would that motel be useful for? Motel isn't what matters, it's the land it sits on. Spoken like a true businessman. Straight on a property gold mine. That land could be put to much better use. That whole area ought to be transformed into a new luxury townhouses and oh god, I just threw up my mouth a little bit. A plethora of Azure City's finest would love nothing more than to settle their families right next to Whitehall. And what are the kids at the orphanage? Don't they deserve to go to Whitehall too? How simple-minded of you. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Think of all the property rights and the fucking money we could make from that. What's that supposed to mean? Alright. Now I want to grill you even more. I'm gonna grill you until you get the best cheese pull. I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. Mr. Chambers, we'd wanted to know, have you been embezzling money for the Klaus charity? Coming out swinging, are we? What a preposterous accusation. 25,000 alms are missing for the charity money. If you're the one who runs the charity, then I'd imagine you'd have some knowledge about this. Word of advice. Never shoot, unless you know what your target is. Yeah, I know what happened to that money. I had it transferred to another company. What was the name of it? BG Turtles. So you admit to taking the money? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I never said I took it. Bill Klaus asked me to transfer it. Why is your book surprised? What? What are you talking about? Wait a second, Bill asked you to? Surprised. I thought you would have figured it out already. Yep, okay, so we are... Hang on, why would Bill ask you to transfer money there? It's not my business to know. It's just something we're needing it to pay off some expenses. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but if both the charity and the orphanage sign off on it, it's perfectly legal. So long as the money is used to pay the orphanage's expenses, of course. As far as I'm concerned, once the money is transferred, it's Bill's responsibility. That may be the case, but do you happen to know who owns the company? Huh. You sure you want the answer to that? You may not like what you find out, but I'll tell you, if only to stop this little charade. Bill Klaus owns BG Turtles, LLC. What? That's, yep. It kinda, sorta was taking this turn, but... Sounds to me like you don't know old Bill as much as you thought you did. Now, let me make something very clear to you two. All of our dealings here have nothing but above board. We have nothing to hide. So, if you want to go around accusing anyone of embezzlement, sounds to me like you should be talking to Bill about it, not me. Bill never told us anything about this. That can't be right. Surely he had a good reason. Sophie, what do we do now? I don't know. I wasn't expecting that at all. Red isn't gonna like this. Let's head back to the station. We can regroup there. When you're ready, let's go. Right. Well, hell. Now what do we do? There's no way that what he said is true. Gods, I hate this. I'm with you there. Work is never easy. So, what's next for our detective in training? I'm just a humble clerk. But, I hate to say it, everything is pointing to Bill as the one behind the embezzlement. Should head back to the orphanage. Good, you're back. Oh, hi, Sue. I finished taking Meg's statement. How'd it go? She cooperated perfectly. Now it's up to the chief what happens next. He wasn't very happy about the case being reopened without his permission, but I explained the situation to him. He's willing to make an exception in this case. Three of you really need to be more careful. I can't keep covering you for you like this. I'm sorry. You had of all the reason to apologize, you have the least, because we just kind of Red and Justina just kind of did this on their own after the events of the previous case. You just came along for the ride to help out because you're cool. Meg, I wish you had told me the truth from the start. Hey, Sue, I'll make it up to you. Let me handle the paperwork for this case. Well, that's the first time you've ever volunteered for paperwork. Given that my clerk is off playing detective, it's all yours. Great. Let me see the file. I'm gonna be buried in a pile of paperwork when this is all over, aren't I? Something about all this is still bothering me. Sue, I'll finish this paperwork later. I want to go look at the car again. I swear, you detectives never make my life easy. Just get it done by the end of the day. Thanks, Sue. Come on, Meg. I'll take you back on Zephyr. Got a motorcycle hump with your name on it. Heck yeah. Never ridden a motorcycle before. But don't worry about me. Yeah, I already got my own. I pray to the gods she can handle Zephyr better than me. I'll take Sophie to the garage so I can show her the car. I wish you luck. Time for me to find Detective Hunt. Well, I punched her in the face. You were always good at that. Detective, who'd you punch? I can explain. Do I even ask? Yes, who'd you punch? Explain then. I was talking about punching someone in a fighting game. It started right before you came in. We were at the closing night of the musical we did in high school. Went to the arcade for the after party, and then you beat me in front of the rest of the cast. That doesn't count. We're worn out from all the singing and dancing. You're normally too good at fighting games. Hang on, you did theater? We both did. Bill was our top singer, and I could win any dance battle thrown my way. I just can't see what's anything less than a detective. I'm getting carried away. I need to talk to you outside, sir. Huh? Oh, sure. Be right back, Bill. Duty calls. Something wrong, Miss Assistant? It's about BG Turtles, and you're not going to like it. Sophie and I went investigating the charity, and, well, according to them, Bill had the money sent to BG Turtles, which he owns. If that's true, then Bill's our culprit. You know I don't trust the Eubanks, right? I do. And you think they're telling the truth. As much as I hate to admit it, I think so. There's nobody else it could be. Then, let me take care of this. Everything right, Ernest? Listen, Bill. We didn't really come here because of the accident. Investigating claims of embezzlement surrounding the orphanage. Does the name BG Turtles mean anything to you? What about it? You mind explaining your relationship with it? I have nothing to say. You know I can't just accept that. Answer the question, Bill. Don't make this any harder than it has to be. And if I don't, then we'll have to discuss this further at the station. Assistant, bring the car round. I have a few things to say in private. I don't think... Please, Justina. Yes, sir. You're still here? Just moving the car. What's with that look on your face? Maybe some magic can cheer it up. We have to bring in Bill for questioning. I believe he's involved with the embezzlement. Oh. What? Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What do you mean? I mean, I'm not surprised how quickly you changed your approach. First you go after my husband, and now Bill. I never said your husband was guilty. He was just a suspect. My husband has always been innocent. You're grasping at whatever straws you can. Fortunately, we don't have the time to discuss all of it. We need to go. It's true! Bill, what happened? Sorry, but I'm not speaking to anyone without a lawyer. Oh, fortunately for me, I'm a lawyer. That's quite all right, Bill. I'll take your case if you let me. You think I'm innocent? We worked together for years. You always put the children before anything else. I'm sure this is all just a big misunderstanding. In that case, I accept. I'll be heading to the station then. Alright, showdown time. Don't forget about me. I'm coming too. Why? What for? Bill's my friend. I would never do such a thing. I'm not going to let you arrest him without giving me a chance to give my statement. In that case, you can join us in the interrogation room. I'd like to ask you a few questions anyways. This is going to be a long day. Alright, here we go. Once again, I was headed to the interrogation room to finish this case once and for all. Detective Hunt didn't say anything to me the whole ride back. I'm worried about him. Don't know if he can lead an interrogation like this. Only one way to find out. Case study part 1. Here we go. Took the opportunity on the way here to organize some of my notes. Hey, Detective Hunt? Yes, Miss Assistant. Are you sure about this? I'm worried about you. Bill's your friend. You shouldn't be here. I appreciate the concern, but I have a job to do. That comes first. Won't let our friendship get in the way of finding the truth. Don't worry. You're a real interrogation room veteran at this point. We'll solve this together. Red! Sue just told me what's going on. Are you seriously going through with this? I am. Red, he's your best friend. He is, but I knew what I was doing when I signed up for this job. This case isn't just about Bill. Eubank Investments is involved too. If I don't do it, no one will. I have to see this through to the end. Red, let me handle this. I can question him. Sophie, I admire your tenacity, but you haven't handled an interrogation before. I don't think you're ready. Actually, sir, I think she is ready. All this time, she has been proving herself. Without her, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't have solved the Lear case without her. Not to mention, she could have just taken the easy route and arrested Doughboy, but she didn't. She knew he didn't do it. And she was the key to us figuring out Bill's involvement in the first place. Let her have this, sir. Time for you to step back. Justy. Besides, I'm a real interrogation room veteran, remember? I'll be there, too. I guess I've been outvoted. Never thought I'd see my own assistant tell me to step back. All right, fine. Room is yours. I'm counting on you, too. I won't let you down, Red. Justy, did you really mean all that? Of course I did. You're a phenomenal detective, Sophie. You just need a chance to shine. It'd be an honor to conduct this interrogation with you. All right, then. Let's go. Right behind you, detective. I love them. Yeah, Sophie's in charge. Helmet too. And is here for some reason. Hello, Ferris. I think we might need a bigger room. The legal capacity of a room this size is 6 people. You're more than welcome to leave. Tempting, but I want to see this case to the end. How about we get started? Let's see. Interrogation basic step 1. Well, Sophie, are you... The detective confronts the suspect directly. Mr. Klaus, we have evidence that shows you've been embezzling charity money meant for the orphanage. What kind of evidence? We found proof that 25,000 alms, fundraised by the Klaus charity, were redirected to a shell corporation, BG Turtles LLC. According to Anton Chambers, Bill owns BG Turtles and he requested the transfer. I swear I didn't do anything wrong. Well, my client does own the company. He hasn't broken any laws. Slap. That money doesn't belong to him. How can you possibly defend that? We haven't actually asked him what he used it for. Hang on, Justy. I haven't gotten to step 2 yet. Step 2. Establishing a motive. Detective tries to determine the motive for the suspect's actions. I know your job is the highest paying, but stealing money for the children is wrong. I would never steal for the children. I'd like you to explain why you had the money transferred, Mr. Klaus. Go ahead, Bill. Just like we talked about. God, please get us to step 3. Alright, the transferred money. All the money that was sent to BG Turtles was used to cover costs incurred with the orphanage, which I had to pay for out of pocket. I was a way to quickly pay myself back while I waited for the full donation to arrive. Hi. Bill's pretty good at this whole accounting thing, you know? He paid the orphanage's rent from his own account, then came up with the BG Turtles idea to cover it. As the transaction was used to cover the orphanage's own costs, nothing criminal was done here. Released my client immediately. Hey, Sophie, is that true? Is it really legal to loan yourself money like that? It's a bit unorthodox, but I suppose there's nothing criminal about it. Is it possible we overreacted? Maybe this was all okay. No, the way he acted at the orphanage, he's hiding something. Someone must have slipped up with her story somewhere. Just to strike at the right time. Hold on. Why would you have to cover things out of pocket? The Klaus Orphanage's income comes directly from donations from private or public entities like the Klaus Charity. Last month when I was reviewing the accounting, I realized we were short around 25,000 alms. Simply didn't have enough money to cover our costs. I either had to fail to pay rent or pay for it myself. They just suddenly came up short? No way that's true. It's gonna come back to the insurance. It is definitely gonna come back to the insurance not paying out for his car. Hold it. Something you've done before? In all my years as the director, this was the only time. never been short on cash like this before. I can assure you there's nothing wrong with what my client did. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures after all. I mean... According to our research, BG Turtles started only recently. So, I suppose it does line up neatly with the facts. Hold it. Is that true, Bill? Sure is. I was a public accountant before I started the orphanage. I was pretty good at it, too. I was almost top of my class. Almost? He lost the top spot to some girl named Penny IRA. Would have beaten her if I didn't get sick a week before finals. Would have studied harder. I thought my sister couldn't let go of grudges. Hold it. To your knowledge, has Bill ever done that before? If you pick a card, I'll tell you. Slap. This is the police interrogation. You have to answer the question. On the contrary, neither party here is obligated to answer your questions. Yeah, what she said. Maybe bringing Annie here was a bad idea. Yeah. Hold it. Hold on now. Even if that's true, we can't just... Either you charge my client or you let him go. Under national law, you cannot detain him without a charge. I know it's all fun and games for you while you play detective, but my client has done nothing wrong. We'll see to it that his rights are upheld. She's not kidding around. Gotta find a flaw in this statement, and fast. What do you think? Sorry to say, but that's a lie. Slap. This evidence proves it. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? I don't know how to tell you this, Justy, but I don't think that proves anything. Oh, well, I must just be thinking too far ahead. We try again. This is correct. False. Slap. Actually, Mr. Klaus, that can't be true. According to your own records, your expenses last month didn't exceed 15,000 alms. Obviously, I used the money to pay for the rent as well. That ledger only covers our other expenses. Where'd you get that anyways? So you're claiming you used it on rent money. Got it. Fine then, Mr. Klaus, let's return to your statement. Problem with that explanation. Objection. That's a lie. Slap. This is still really sus. Anton's up to something. Orphanage's rent from his own account. Objection. Slap. Unfortunately, Annie, that's not true. According to your own statements earlier today, the orphanage has always made rent payments from its own account. Oh, she's got cards up her sleeve. I never noticed that before. When she does her little shock pose. She's got cards up her sleeve. That's cute. Annie doesn't know what she's talking about. Look, the expenses got a bit mixed up, and I thought you were a pro with this whole accounting thing. Smack. Annie, when they asked Bill to testify, they meant only him. I didn't do anything wrong. She's the one with the evidence. Smack. Detective Swift, I request that any card be removed immediately. Sorry, but she's the key witness in this case. I'm gonna keep her here. Please, for the love of gods, Annie, don't speak unless you're spoken to. Ooh, it's gotten under her skin. Look, I get it. I'll stay quiet. If you make a card. Maybe it was a good idea we brought her here. Back to the topic at hand. If you didn't use the money to cover your rent, what could you possibly need it for? What do you have to say for yourself? Wait, no, that's too mean. This is all a misunderstanding. The money was used for a completely different purpose. And what purpose is that? For this whole thing up, let me explain. The money's purpose. All the money I had transferred was used to cover our maintenance expenses for the past month. There was a storm that moved through last month, and that caused a lot of damage to the property. It was used for your car. We weren't expecting the increased costs, and I needed to have the repairs done quickly. Therefore, I had no choice but to cover the costs myself and then pay myself back through BG Turtles. That's his story now. Reading how he only tells us this story now. There's no way I can disprove his claims about the storm damage. However, there's no way this is the full story. Something about his explanation must not line up with the facts. If I follow the money, I'm sure to find a problem somewhere. Hold it. 25,000 alms just for maintenance? Isn't that a bit high? There was a lot that needed to be done, and the costs ballooned fast. I ended up asking a lot of Meg, and I was not going to let her work for free. What sort of costs? My client is under no obligation to list everything he paid for. But to litigate every expense, go ahead and get a warrant for it. Hey, detective, do you think we get a warrant for that? In order to obtain a warrant, you'd have to present your case to a judge. You need to explain what you're searching for and provide a justification for its relevance. I don't think it's going to help us either way. I'll just depend on the evidence I already have, then. Hold it. I knew there was a storm last month, but how could it have caused that much damage? It's an old property, so it takes a lot to keep it maintained. Annie can attest to that much. Yep, if it weren't for Meg handling maintenance, that place would have fallen apart by now. Slap. Hang on, you're telling me Bill has to cover rent and maintenance? As part of the orphanage's lease agreement, they agreed to help maintain the property in exchange for much cheaper rent. Considering what they were asking for, it was a good deal. The costs normally aren't too high, but the storm set us back a lot. I guess that makes sense. Let's continue. Hold it. What you're saying is true. Why did you not mention this before? Financial information should only be discussed on a need-to-know basis. Disclosure of sensitive information would put not only the orphanage in trouble, but also the children as well. Think of the children. Yeah, think of the children. I suppose so. Hold it. Why did you not just wait until after the fund-raised money was transferred? I'm the director for an orphanage, and I only take a meager salary. I can't afford to spend money like that. I have bills I need to pay. Slap. And why not get a loan? Smack. What is wrong with you? Stop badgering my client. There's nothing wrong with his actions. Yeah, stop badgering him. Sorry? Thinking here. What does the rope have to do with anything? So I say, but that's a lie. Slap. All right. Slap. This is a point where there's not a really clear answer, just finding the right point to introduce evidence. 15,000 old. Might use Meg's statement. False. Slap.